All right. I ain't got nothing for today's show. I caught up on AEW last night, and I'm still confused. Like, I was following, I know Dave Meltzer talked about Bray Wyatt yesterday. I'm still, I think some of you had hit us up in the chat house saying Bray had gotten his 90-day non-compete knocked down to 60, which would have made him available to appear last night on AEW in Brody Lee's hometown. Obviously, he didn't appear, but I guess are we now watching? Like, are we now waiting to see what happens with Bray Wyatt? And I think one thing that's cool about Bray is he's not going to be Bray Wyatt, and he's not going to be the Fiend. So what is he going to be? Like, is he going to be I can't wait to find out. I think Bray was, and you read enough, see enough about this. Bray was really the kind of creative mind behind both the kind of evolution of the Bray Wyatt character and the Fiend. And I think he was, one of the driving forces behind the thing with the Firefly Funhouse match with Cena. And he's got to dip into that bag of creativity again, because that's all intellectual property that he can't use. And so, what type of character do you debut him as? Like, it seems like the Dark Order is a great fit. You've already got the Brody Lee tie-in. Like, there's a couple of things that you could do there. But I'm curious to see what type of character they lay with Bray. And I also was talking to my man Chris, and he had been on this. Yo, I think Cody's turning heel. Like, he had texted this weeks ago. Like, before the I don't remember I think it was the pay-per-view. I think Cody's turning heel. Like, really? You sure? And then you start to see it, like there's these subtle, oh yeah, no, Cody is definitely turning heel, which I think is cool. I think that'll be a good dynamic to the storytelling in WWE and in AEW. And for the first time in a while, I'm curious to see what happens on Raw this week. And I know that I think we've got the draft starting tomorrow. Starts on SmackDown and then over on Raw on Monday. But with what WWE has done with the last 2 Mondays, I can't lie. I can't wait to see what they do this week. Like, who's going to wrestle 2 or 3 times and they're going to blow through a 4-month storyline in a night? I'm locked in. I'm watching. They got my attention, which, by the way, that's what they're supposed to do with their show.